5 minutes ago, something unexpected unfolded in the House of Commons that has left political commentators stunned and Sir Keir Starmer visibly shaken. In a dramatic turn of events, one of his own MPs stood up and demanded something that has been whispered behind closed doors for months: real reform, right now, no more delays, no more political tap dancing. The leader of the Labour Party, usually calm and collected, found himself without words, momentarily silenced in front of Parliament and the nation. It was supposed to be a routine session. Starmer, riding high on recent polling data suggesting Labour could be on the brink of power, was preparing for another round of measured, rehearsed responses. The atmosphere in the chamber was tense but expected, until MP for Birkenhead, Ellie Mayfield, stood up. Known for her backbench loyalty and calm demeanour, no one expected her to break ranks. But what followed was anything but routine. Mayfield didn't hesitate. She launched into a powerful statement, her voice unwavering. "We cannot keep offering vague promises and polished lines while real people suffer," she said, locking eyes with Starmer. "We cannot keep playing the political game while communities in this country are still waiting for the change we've been promising for over a decade. We need real reform, not tomorrow, not after the next election. Now." The chamber fell into silence. Starmer, seated just feet away, looked stunned. This wasn't part of the script. This wasn't something the party had prepped for. The Prime Minister's front bench grinned, clearly enjoying the awkwardness. But the moment wasn't about political point scoring, it was about something deeper, something raw. Ellie Mayfield was voicing what millions across the country have been feeling: a growing frustration with empty rhetoric and a desperate hunger for action. Her speech only lasted about 2 minutes, but its impact is still reverberating across Westminster. She called for immediate legislation to address housing inequality, demanded more transparency in party finances, and even challenged Starmer to hold a national town hall tour, not in London, but in the cities and towns that have been ignored for decades. "We cannot pretend to lead the country if we're too afraid to face it," she said. It wasn't a rebellion. It was a reality check. And for Keir Starmer, who has carefully crafted an image of a leader who listens, this was the ultimate test. After Mayfield sat down, he paused. People expected a polished rebuttal, a diplomatic deflection, maybe even a chuckle to lighten the moment. But none of that happened. For nearly 10 seconds, he just stared ahead, visibly caught off guard. Eventually, he offered a brief, measured response. "The honourable member makes passionate points, and I welcome the energy and urgency she brings to these discussions, but to many watching, it didn't feel like leadership. It felt like hesitation." That's all it took, a small crack in the armour, for the murmurs to begin. Social media lit up instantly. Clips of Mayfield's speech are now trending. Political analysts are calling it the most honest moment in Parliament in months. Even some conservative commentators admitted that her words struck a nerve. And more importantly, it sparked a new question among Labour supporters. Is the party really ready to lead, or is it still too cautious to act? This could be a defining moment for Starmer. Throughout his leadership, he's been criticised for being too careful, too scripted, too safe. Today, his own MP challenged him to take off the gloves and start delivering the kind of bold, unapologetic leadership the country is crying out for. The kind of leadership that doesn't wait for perfect polling numbers or the next election cycle. What happens next could change everything. Will Mayfield face internal backlash for speaking out? Or could this be the spark that pushes Labour into a new, more action-driven phase? Either way, the message is clear: people are done waiting. Reform can't be an item on a future to-do list. It has to happen now, in the open, with urgency, and with courage. 5 minutes ago, Keir Starmer was caught off guard. But what he does 5 minutes from now might determine the future of the Labour Party, and possibly the country.